for the rest of the guys who've been here for
We'll get some for a second. Actually, I had a question for you, Matt. We were talking in a pre-fight interview about...
It's been a long road here. The question never really bothered me, that question, you know. I knew what I could do. I knew you cannot have a similar approach in this game. You must be free to fight in all forms. So, I feel if it's a fight to the death between two men and there is no clock, takedown does not matter. It's the efficient fighter who will prevail. So I never really bothered about the question. My team knew what I was capable of. I knew when I hit him I would hurt him, and that was it.
Well, there were some rumors swirling before the fight that you may not have been 100% healthy now that it's over, now that you are victorious. Is there anything you can say about any injuries that were bothering you before the fight?
You know, I'm just going to let that be in the past, because there's no point bringing anything up really in my mind. I just know that I had a hell of a lot more wrong with me than a bruised rib, and I still showed up. I prepared for this camp essentially in the physical therapist realm. You know what I mean? So I had a lot to deal with this camp, on top of all the media. Everybody here, I love every single one of you people here, all the media. I'm grateful for every single one of you, but I'm absolutely sick to death of you. I have done so much of it. So, but I don't know. I'm overwhelmed by what's happening right now, so I'm just trying to, my mind is in a million different places.
Last question for you is, you were taunting Chad a lot during the fight. You had your hands very low. What can you tell us about his power and how threatened you felt, if ever, during the fight?
I didn't feel threatened. He's probably one of the hardest hitters. Beside me, I think he's probably number 2 heaviest hitter in the division. He's certainly the best wrestler in the division. But honestly, they try and find holes. They try and find questions that I've yet to answer. They try and find something that's going to break me, the weight cut, the wrestler, I don't know, there's always something, but I always prevail, and I am always confident that I can take whatever these people give. I can walk through everything, and he hit me 1 or 2 maybe, but I felt absolutely nothing. He cut me above the eye from bottom with a little elbow, but other than that, they were glancing blows, and I was speaking to him in there. I knew I was being efficient here, and when my chance arose, I was gonna crack him with every shot I had. And I felt the body really broke him down, and then we put him away with a shot to the chin.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Conor, back here to your right. You talked about this moment being a UFC champion since you arrived in the UFC, even before that. Now that it's here, now that that belt is sitting in front of you, can you just express what you're feeling, what that moment was in the cage, to have your name announced, to have that belt wrapped around you?
You know, I didn't really think what way I was going to react. I didn't know what way I was going to react, but when I put him away and then I jumped on the cage, and then my coach was like right there on the cage with me, and I was just looking around and everything, it overwhelmed me, and I came to tears, you know. It has been a hell of a ride. 2 years, just over 2 years I'm here. I've already broke every single record in the game, and it does not come easy. Trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of work involved. It's not just about showing up at the gym. It's not just about that, you know, there's a lot involved. I haven't been home. I've been home 19 days this year, and I've been constantly working, constantly promoting, constantly handling my media obligations, as well as keeping on top of my weight, as well as keeping on top of my skill level, as well as managing niggling injuries. Just, it's a crazy game. And you know, I absolutely love it. I love this job, I love this game, I love this ride I'm on. And I am happy to have taken the gold. It would not matter if it was Jose or it was Chad. This was my belt, this was my night. Chad mauled Jose in their fight. I feel it was a back and forth, evenly fought fight, but I was never in any danger in that contest tonight, and I felt extremely confident. I spoke to him throughout every single exchange that it was nothing. You're against a different animal now.
With everything that you just said about not being home very often, everything that came with this, and still loving it, we asked Dana earlier, do you have a timeline? Do you have a when you'd like to do this with Jose?
You know, I will talk. You know, right now, tonight I'm going to toast good business. And it was damn good business. I said I would KO him with inside 2 rounds. I put a friendly little wager with my business partners on. And I succeeded in that friendly wager. So I'm going to toast good business tonight. I'm going to head out, I'm going to celebrate with my country and with my team specifically. I want to give a shout out to my team that have been with me since day one. Everyone that's come up on this ride and the people that came over to the Mac Mansion for 14 weeks out of their life and dedicated their whole life to me. And everyone that's been on this journey with me, we all stepped it up a notch here. So I honestly believe there is no such thing as self-made. And I believe that is a term that does not exist. And for me, it simply doesn't. The people who've been around me my whole career have helped shape this moment. And this night and this moment is for them. So we will celebrate tonight.
Conor, down here to your left. I know you said before you don't think that Jose Aldo's coming back and you think that he's running, but if he were to come back, do you think that a stadium is the only venue that could host that fight?
We know we could do a stadium, no problem, but we will see. I heard about the new Vegas arena that's opening up. When I make my way to the gym, I see this new big Vegas arena. It's like a 20,000 plus seat. It looks like a phenomenal arena. Maybe there we can do it. I don't know. I heard they are planning maybe Vegas for it, but we'll see. I'm open. The stadium show in Dublin will happen. Make no mistake about that. Well, I'm going to put Jose at a distant memory right now because I don't think he deserves to be spoken about here. He didn't show up. This was the event that we built. He should have made that walk. And respect to Chad for making that walk and showing up. But in my opinion, Jose's done. If it comes back around, we'll discuss it then. But right now, this is my night. This is Ireland's night. This is Team Straight Blast Gym's night. My coach John, my family, everyone that's been with me. This is our night.
Also, you talked about how much media you did leading up to this fight. Did you learn anything through this process or have any plans to change how you approach doing media for a fight the next time around?
You know, it's damn hard work. But then, and every time I say, you know what, fuck this. Next time I'm not doing all of this. And then I get handed the check. I'm like, all right.
Conor, it's kind of seminal moments in the sport quite often tied to the atmosphere. Can you just down here? Could you just tell us about that moment where you turned around and pointed up to Sinead? You kind of seemed to stop and take it all in for a minute.
My God, that was some moment. I looked down and Sinead is surrounded by lights and smoke and she just points at me. And Sinead is an absolute legend, an Irish hero, passionate, powerful, strong woman. And her voice sends chills through my spine anytime I listen to her. So to have her there singing live was an absolute honour. Even at the weigh-in, you know, I didn't really get to embrace what was actually happening at the weigh-in because I was cutting weight. And when I left the stage, I was like, man, I should have just taken my time a little bit on that stage because that was a phenomenal moment. And looking back at the pictures that I've seen from the weigh-ins, it was like something out of the Coliseum. This whole weekend has been unbelievable, and honestly, I am extremely grateful for every person that made a lot of sacrifice, saved up to make this trip, because this is a big expense to come out here to Las Vegas, and that's You know, that to me, when Jose pulled and didn't mention nothing about the fans or nothing like that, and then started supporting Chad, and it was just they were weird little buddies, that left a bad taste in my mouth, you know. I couldn't do that. I showed up to fight. I respect the people that have sacrificed a lot of their money, their time, to make this trip, to support the event. So it just hit me all at the end of the fight, and it just overwhelmed me, the support and the passion from the fans. I am forever grateful.
I'll take 2 more questions. Hi, Conor and Dana, for the both of you, just right down in front, guys. Historically, boxing and MMA, heavyweights, or at least the heavier divisions, have traditionally been the biggest drawing divisions. Boxing's shifted lately, with you and Ronda now being maybe the 2 biggest pay-per-view draws in the company right now. I was just hoping to get maybe some perspective on the changing mindsets, maybe, if you will.
I don't think weight has got to do with anything, you know. It just happened to be that the heavyweights there was a buzz in the heavyweight division, but the heavyweight division in the UFC right now is building steam. But right now I'm running the game. I have every record in the book, the gate, the pay-per-view. All the viewing figures on Fox, UFC Fight Pass, highest attended weigh-ins. I have every record right now, and at the end of the day, I'm still only 26 years of age. I am still very, very young in this game. So I feel myself and Ronda's an absolute machine. She's an animal. And I relate to Ronda a lot because I know the work she puts in media-wise and training-wise, and I look at her and I take a great inspiration from Ronda and her work ethic. I feel it's me and Ronda at the top of the game, and I'm honoured. But there are many exciting fights and exciting names coming up. I mean, Robbie Lawler was phenomenal. That Robbie and Rory fight was absolutely phenomenal. I must pay my respect to that. 2 absolute warriors took every shot and still came forward. I mean, this is what this sport is about. What a night of fighting, you know. So I'm just happy to close out the show on the sport that I love and introduce everyone that may have not seen it before, maybe a new audience. But this is our sport. This is the UFC, and this is as real as it gets.
Conor, tonight was about validation for you. Can you talk about the 2 defining moments of the fight? A, when you got up late in the second from that chokehold, it seemed like you may have said something to him, or at least gave him a look, and then also the devastating left to end the fight.
Yeah, you know, I felt I was hurting him on the feet early. I think I said to him right at the start, you know, because when we came fit, I have no ill feelings against Chad. The whole situation was weird to me because you throw in a guy that's 2 weeks out from a fight and it's a new guy, and then you have all his team talking all this kind of crazy stuff. It was a weird situation, but I didn't really have any emotion towards Chad. It just happened to be what it was. So I felt like he was trying to sell the fight a little bit or build it up. But when we were coming to the weigh-in, I just wanted to go face to face. Let's just stand face to face and square off here. And he was bouncing around and clapping his hands, and Dana was separating us, and I said to Dana, let's just come face to face. Let's stand here and look me in the eye. But it didn't happen. So we left the stage, and I was thinking in my head, you know, he's playing the game here. He thinks it's a game, but really, this is no game here. And tomorrow, I said to myself after the weigh-in, I said, tomorrow night, there will be no bouncing around. We're going to be face to face, and we'll see then. So when we came face to face, I said to him, I said, let's see who takes a back step now. Let's see who takes the first back step now. So I marched forward, and he took the first back step. And then that was the fight. Every shot he threw, I spoke to him. He has heavy shots. He's put people away, but I didn't feel nothing. I don't feel anything when these featherweights hit me. I feel like a concrete block. And he secured 1 or 2 takedowns, but again, I knew the efficient man prevails in a fight to the death where there is no clock, no time limit. The man who is efficient is the man who prevails. So, when I was on the mat, I was patient. I landed shots where I could. I stayed safe. He might have threw an overhand. He threw an elbow, split me on the eye. That was 1. But then every other one was glancing. And every shot, I was like, That's what I kept saying. No. So I felt I was preserving energy, being efficient, and then when the opportunity arose to go back to the feet, I attacked the gut. Them kicks to the gut, them side kicks to the gut. They don't look like much. To the naked eye, they don't look like much. Only me and him know about it. Only me and the opponent know about it. But they suck rounds out of you. So that's what happened. His body, he was searching for his gas tank, and I was stabbing him in the gas tank. And then the straight shots landed, the roundhouse, the spinning kicks. I felt the fight went exactly as I said it would, like they usually do.
Conor, that's your fifth TKO in 6 fights in the UFC. I'm just wondering how it actually makes you feel when you...
Who is that? That was the last question. He had the last question right here. I said 2 more.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. What's your question? Go ahead.
Yeah, Conor, it's your fifth TKO in 6 fights in the UFC. I'm wondering how it makes you feel when you actually knock out an opponent.
It's a night. It feels good. I don't take joy from inflicting pain on someone, but I definitely take satisfaction that the shots that I'm visualizing in my head pre-camp, every shot I visualized throughout the camp, and I've been practicing through the camp, landed tonight. And that's it. It's a beautiful feeling when the shot. It's a beautiful feeling when you hit the sweet spot.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Have a great night. Be safe.